And we're live. Painkiller Ready, episode 386 with our guest Richard Ryan. Kyle?
Insanely compelling stories, like Matt Melancon, the guys who's head of our retail at the coffee shop in Salt Lake. He's a bilateral amputee, and the dude is just
Does that
a
mean
bundle
both
of
your legs?
One arm and one leg, right?
two.
Let's take a
double
poll
amputees.
and guess what bilateral amputee is. I'm going to guess
I'm
he lost...
trying to imagine.
I'm going to guess...
I'm trying to imagine
Yeah.
with no arms and no legs trying to serve coffee, upsetting customers.
Right. I think he has one arm and one leg on the same side. I think
On his
that's what
lame legs,
a
he's
bilateral
jumping behind the counter.
amputee is. Kyle, what do you think a bilateral amputee is?
Honestly, I thought it would be someone who had lost one arm and one leg.
On the same side? Because I think if it was a diagonal loss, it wouldn't be lateral, right? I think he's got to be split.
That's how I would prefer it, honestly, because I figure if you could hop on your left leg, you could still pivot enough to punch with your right. And you're going to need to be able to defend yourself at some point.
But it's not a choice. We're guessing what bilateral amputee might mean.
Well, that's my guess.
Okay,
He's
all
got
right.
his left leg and right
He's
arm.
got kind of
I
a
think it means that
crisscross
you're missing-
applesauce limb
You're
loss.
missing both your legs.
Both your leg. All right,
bet.
solve it, Richard. Who got
That's
it?
the answer.
Yeah. Both. He's a amputee below the knee on both.
Gosh, I actually
Does
thought
he
I was going to
have
be
one?
right.
Does he have prosthetics?
Or maybe above the knee. Yeah.
No, it's just a
yeah,
very
he does
short
have
counter.
prosthetics. Yeah,
They just
for
lower
sure.
the counter for him.
If everybody can't do it, then I'm not going to do it.
Smart. Yeah, for a
and
like a burgeoning executive in a company like that. You don't want to be the one dude who's like, all right, boarding group one, that's me. Enjoy lugging everything back, assholes.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't want that.
Stewardess,
They'd be
don't
like,
let the
"Wow, what a-"
riffraff past this curtain here.
yeah, I fly Southwest a lot though too, so I like that. Oh wow, come on. There's pros and cons to
You
all
like
of
the
them.
fear of not knowing if you're going to make it or not? Is that what you're going to say?
Hey man, live on the wild
I
side,
like
bro.
You're like, it's cheap, and
You know,
get to pick your
God damn it,
own-
I'm glad I
Look,
brought
you
my
could-
parachute.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can fly on Southwest and hope that the thing doesn't go down, or you can fly on United and hope you don't get assaulted.
You wear your
I keep my
wingsuit to
hands to myself
Southwest?
on United. Those people who get assaulted almost always are asking for it, right? All you got to do, I've never come even close to getting assaulted on a fucking airplane. All you got to do is sit there, drink your drink if you want to drink, go to sleep. You'll wake up in the city, in your destination. When you start socializing with the other people on the plane, especially when you start antagonizing motherfuckers, or you start questioning people, fucking with people, you're fucking with the wrong
That's not
people.
how it happened. You know what he tried to do? Sit there. Yeah,
He was asked to deplane, if you're talking
Right.
about that.
he was
that
trying to
one
sit
fellow.
there.
But he was asked to, like, if we're talking about that Asian guy, I remember watching
Yeah,
the clip,
yeah.
and, like, even if I did nothing wrong, if a bunch of cops come in and are like, we need you to exit the plane, I'm going to be like, okay. Like, I'm not going to be like, but I'm already buckled. Like, no, I'm going to get up and leave. And you know what I'm definitely not going to do? I'm not going to wait for them to drag me and then go, oh! Oh!
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna
That-
freak
That's
the fuck
because
out.
you have forethought and you're able to look forward into the future and realize that there's no scenario in which you beat up these three cops and then the plane takes off and takes you to Seattle. It's not happening.
There's no world where this isn't Canada where they're gonna be like, you know, he's being pretty steadfast. He's not getting out of the chair. Well, I suppose let him go. What's he gonna do?
That was his plan.
No.
That was his plan. His plan was
right on
like, they're not actually going to kick my ass and drag me out of the plane, but welcome to United and welcome to America. They will kick your ass and drag you out of the plane.
Your armrest. Have you ever had that happen?
That is
where people
awful.
put their bare feet or socked feet without their shoes
Yeah.
on, like to the side of
I'll
you.
see it.
Like
I'll see it over there between the wall and the seat. I'm like, it's right there.
They should. That's why they should make TSA should make an exception where they're like, all right, no sharp objects aside from, of course, courtesy bolt cutters, which you can use to cut off the toes of people who try and onto your seats.
I don't like that at all.
Immediately.
I would
But-
say something.
I don't fuck around on airplanes. Like if someone, like I'm not gonna say shit on an airplane because you get put on that no-fly list. You're on that fucking no-fly list, right? Now you're taking the bus. Now you're a bus person.
Now
Now
you're
you're
like,
a
Oh, that's terrible.
Now you're a fucking Oregon Trail riding piece of shit, right? Like it's game over,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I've got a business meeting in Portland on Friday, so I'm heading out on Monday afternoon.
Like no, you don't fuck around on airplanes. Even if you're in the right and someone else is being obnoxious, you just be an adult. You know, you're gonna land. We're all landing. It'll be cool. Like I will never.
If
get
someone
into,
has their
into
bare
anything on a
feet
plane.
near my head, I will say, excuse me, I can smell those. Or I'll ask a stewardess to do it. I am not going to just fucking inhale someone's foot fumes for an entire flight. That is outrageous. What am I, your victim? Suck my dick. I'm nobody's victim.
I was saying bolt cutters would be an ideal.
That's the problem. Followed by let's wrestle.
Yeah, hey, that works out well.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Ready, set, play.
How wonderful this is. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to be included with some of my heroes, Richard Pryor and George Carlin and
White guy.
Carl Reiner and
Don't know that guy.
Lily Tomlin. Who else got this? Bill. Oh, Bill has one of these. Did y'all make Bill give his back? No, because I know there was a big outcry from people. They was trying to get Bill to give his trophies back. You know you f***ed up when they want you to give your trophies back. Give his trophy back too? He should do one show where he just come out and just talk crazy now. I would like to talk to some of the people who feel that I should give back my trophies. Just because you may have heard recently that I allegedly put the pill into people's chocolate. I wish somebody would come up to my house talking about give up the trophy because you put the pill in the people's chocolate. You get up. 'Cause I'm not giving back. and who is Hannibal Barris?
Oh shit.
Hannibal Barris.
There's a
First of all,
subtle part coming up.
Hannibal is a caveman's name. And you don't just come on out and push over the apple cart to Hannibal. If I ever see or meet this Hannibal Barris in person, I am going to try to kill this nigger.
Hard
Just
R.
one show like this. Just do one like that. But like I said, I don't want to go too far. And
So I think that's the end.
I don't want to make this about him. But this is a
I
wonderful.
like this,
Pause it
the
there.
name of this YouTube channel. The name of this YouTube channel is Hip Hop News Uncensored. They censored every fuck and every shit.
Yeah, they did. But the I don't want to go too far thing, is that a reference to his own glass house that he's in? Like, didn't that guy get picked up for fucking transvestite prostitutes?
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Murphy got stopped.
Oh,
with
well, he didn't rape him.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
He just got stopped with one on his car. He was giving that young lady a ride to church. Woody, how dare you? How dare you question? That's Eddie Murphy.
He was scaring that person straight.
Absolutely. That's the donkey from Shrek. God damn it.
Yeah, the donkey from Shrek would never do anything wrong.
No.
Actually, I don't know. The Cosby Show was pretty wholesome.
Eddie
And
Murphy
it turns
was
out he was a rapist.
Eddie Murphy was 4 years into his marriage with Nicole Mitchell Murphy when police pulled him over at 4:45 a.m. after he picked up a transsexual prostitute in his Toyota Land Cruiser.
Early services.
Unknown homosexual prostitution spot along Santa Monica Boulevard. I could go on, but yeah, the man likes them with all the tools in their arsenal.
Bill Cosby, just based on this thumbnail, is now the oldest looking black person on the planet. He has the eyes of a dog who just turned 19. You know, where it's
That's
like
a
they
great
just
line.
wander into islands like in your kitchen and shit, and chair legs. Like he has
Shit
been through the
themselves with
ringer.
Shit
I bet-
themselves with zero control.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly when this came out that he was like started becoming under scrutiny, but I bet he's aged more in that time than like presidents do.
He went blind in that time. He could see before they started calling a rapist. He went blind.
There were times I looked it up and I was like, man, Bill Cosby, he must be 96. Like, how old is he? And you look it up and I think he's in his 70s still.
Yeah.
He's pretty
Wow.
old.
Yeah,
He's
got
claiming the
old
blindness
dog eyes.
to get a better sentence. It's part of the whole give him leniency, etc., because he says he can't see.
Well,
Well, it's been years since I would rape and pillage young white women.
Poor Bill. Poor Bill.
Yeah, it is a shame
Bill.
how he
Fuck
was
him.
treated.
Yeah.
The life's just not fair for Bill Cosby.
You know, he was the guy. Bill Cosby was the guy always preaching to young black men, not to use the N-word, to pull their damn pants up, get a job, do this, et cetera, et cetera.
Go to temple.
Meanwhile, he's out drug raping bitches left and right. Meanwhile, he's slipping lewds and 19-year-old actresses' drinks and finger banging them at the Hyatt.
It got a little tougher after the end of the 80s when the lewds ran out.
Yes, but in all jokes aside, he's a rapist.
Funny thing, I don't know if everyone thinks this, but oftentimes in a movie they'll show two people having sex, making love, as a way to sort of demonstrate that they're bonded well, right? They have an active, happy relationship. For whatever reason, when I see a chick taking it from behind in a movie, I'm like, yeah, they are bonded well. That's a good relationship. Is it just me? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe just me. Yeah. So if you don't know, they're kind of demonstrating that these guys are good in the beginning of 300 before the Leonidas goes off to war, and he fucks her, and they switched a bunch of different positions, and there she is taking it from behind, just doggy style, and I'm like, yeah, they've got a good thing going on there.
Is doggy style not super common?
It is, but it's not that common in movies, I would say.
Oh, maybe I've never really noticed that.
Wings, it was funny. He forgot his deodorant. He hadn't packed deodorant on that trip. And he went from like person to person trying to borrow deodorant. Like he went to White Boy, and White Boy is like, nah, dog. If you need socks, I'll hook you up. but he wasn't willing to share deodorant. He went to me, and I was like, I can't leave my man hanging out alone. I shared my deodorant with Wings on that trip.
You may tell you how to share
Deodorant's like
deodorant.
$2.
Yeah.
If you ever got deodorant on your tongue, you're like a cat that just licks
Yeah.
it. That's like you're like,
I had
You're like, now it won't go away.
You can do other stuff with deodorant. I remember this was like super early 2000s, like when NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were still huge, and they had the frosted tips, on their hair in the top. And a friend of mine, lots of people were getting it done, and he was like, we were at this kid's house in the neighborhood, just fiddle fucking around like kids do, and he's like, my mom won't let me get the tips, like whoever the hell, but I found out that if you put deodorant all over your hair, it will bleach all of your hair. And we're like, Scott, what a good idea to do that. And so we were like standing outside.
Can I ask, did you all know it was a bad idea when you said that?
No, but we knew it was not a good idea enough to be like, you storm this beach, buddy. Like, we're going to watch and see. Like, 'cause we weren't obsessed with having the tips. And so we were in his backyard, and he like went over his head with deodorant, like caking it on. And he's like, all right, now I just need to wait and then wash it out, and it'll do everything. Next time I saw that kid, it had changed the color of his hair, but it was not Backstreet Boy super cool frosted tips. He had gray as a 70-year-old Anderson Cooper hair.
Oh.
Like totally, but not Anderson Cooper, because that look is odd on an 11-year-old. And just totally gray, looked awful. And there's nothing you can do about it. He just had to wait for it to grow back. So he had a bad look for a while. I would bet $100 that we will never see another Game of Thrones book.
I would not bet against that. That guy is going to drop any day now. And I was going to say he writes a page a day, like as a goof. That could be overestimating.
I don't think he averages a page a day. There's absolutely no way he does if you do the math, right? Like, is that a 12,000 page book or something like that?
It's been 3 years, right? 3 years is 1,000 plus pages.
That guy is a perfect example of what you often talk about when you don't understand what motivates people once they've made it. He's made it. I bet his royalties off of the HBO series are substantial. He's got all kinds of credits on there. He gets paid for more than the royalties, right? He's like a contributor.
Oh, yeah.
He's written episodes, I think. He's He's doing all these appearances. I bet for the first time in his life he's getting pussy. And this guy is just not right.
You might be stretching it. Wow.
I mean, let's be real. Look at that troll. Look at him. Like Harvey Weinstein. If you got to suck somebody's dick,
I'm coming.
You sucking Harvey Weinstein's dick, or you sucking Martin's dick?
Well, I need to know what else is in the offer.
Their belly fat on your head.
Oh yeah, just he lifts it up and then drops it right on top of your head.
Do you think it's like moist?
Oh, it's moist under the in the folds. In the folds? Oh.
In the folds, there's infections and.
Do you think he lifts and then puts deodorant in there? If I were a fatty, I would lift those folds and I would powder. I would powder everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine after a long workout, the powder turns to some kind of a slurry, right? And then like as you're working out, you got to reach down there and like 2-3 fingers under the fold and get the slurry out and like
maybe powder's not the answer. Maybe you want an oil, a little baby oil,
like Buddha.
Yeah, get all lubed up and start jiggling.
Do you see? There's a whole new issue that we need to be thinking about now, guys. Consent obviously is a huge issue.
Yes,
but have you ever considered?
Sometimes everything you do is your favorite. Anyway,
have you ever considered that you need to ask your baby if they're okay with having their diaper changed before you change their shitty diaper?
That's a good point because maybe they're not into it, right? Maybe they don't feel comfortable with it at that moment.
Maybe they want to sit in their own shit, right? Yeah. It's this pink-haired person is saying, first of all, if you're going to give advice to anyone, don't have pink hair because no one is going to take you seriously. You look like a retard. You look like a moron. People in the street don't go, that's quirky. They go, someone didn't have a father in the home. That's what they say. They don't think that you're qualified to say that babies, need to specify if they want their nappy changed. But this is a real article now that we need to pay attention to whether babies are consenting to it. Like, that's the same thing as, like, Woody, you've raised children. Did you ever go, do you want to eat your carrots?
No,
of that course 2 blinks not. For no, throw them away. Like, no, of course not. This is not even borderline. This is total retardation. That this would get any traction anywhere and not be a joke.
How did this get traction at all? Right? Like, why did ABC put this on? I guess for ratings, that people are looking at it as a goof. People are making fun of it. Like,
maybe.
No one really thinks this except maybe this idiot.
There's also, if this idiot got on there, then they clearly are from some idiotic organization, right? That is like, yeah, let your babies sit in shit if that's what they want. They didn't consent to being taken care of appropriately. Like
the thing about this, so I don't think of myself as that liberal, but compared to the show, I am, and you just know this idiot is on the blue team. You just know it. You know this fucking asshole. Like, I have to apologize for this idiot with the blue hair because they're
you don't have to co-opt their shit because they're on the weird fringe.
I'm telling you, I would bet $15, which is triple my normal bet, that this person wanted Barry Sanders to win and then settled for Hillary. I'm positive of it.
And just to set this up, this deputy has stopped traffic in both directions on the highway. The groundhog has been slowly making its way across the road, and he is standing near the groundhog.
Ready, set, play.
He wants to get petted.
It is coming right.
He's holding his gun.
No! Oh my gosh! Oh no!
He just drew down.
Oh, he's not dead yet.
Oh my god, he shot.
Just step on it at this point.
Oh my
Watch this.
God.
Watch this. I love this. I love this technique.
Oh,
one-handed.
Fire again.
Double tapped him.
Oh.
All right. All right,
my
folks.
God.
It's safe now. Nothing to see here.
Oh my god.
Don't worry. I neutralized the enemy. Don't be afraid. We're all safe now. This piece of shit. Like, what's his deal?
Try and scare
Comes
it
out, he
away.
shot Punxsutawney Phil.
No, That will never see spring.
Paramotor video is about a charity. Assuming I haven't edited it yet, so it might suck or something.
Paramotors for the needy. Just a homeless guy flying into a tree.
Dude, you're not too far off.
How can I be close?
Like your sense of self-worth can be warped. Like your sense of your identity, right? You are a soldier. You are this guy. You are with your brothers at war, a kind of bonding and excitement that gets removed. And then suddenly everything seems mundane. My friend in the Army, he was telling me they make them go through mandatory courses before they come back home. And while he wasn't married, they teach married people how to go home. They're like, do nothing. Do nothing. Your wife has learned to live without you for a year now. You know, if the baby's crying and you think she's not changing the diaper fast enough, shut up. Shut up. She's been doing this while you're gone. Don't insert yourself into this like head of household role on your day back. That's wrong.
You know what an important thing is there is they need to start one that keeps the women who are home while you're on deployment from becoming big fat animals during your deployment. I'm being 1,000,000% serious here. They need to have a guy who goes around and checks and goes and has a picture of them from before deployment. The one that guy's masturbating to in a porta potty on the base. That one.
Everyone's masturbating to that picture.
And then they'll bring that and be, whoa! He's been gone for 3 months? Like, in God's name are you thinking? You're an animal. You're a disgusting animal. He's gonna come back.
Eating a fluffer nutter?
Yeah.
Put the trail mix down.
I'm gonna text your husband to bring home a cute Afghani girl because it's going to shit here or whatever. Like, she complains about how he fails to make her wet/turn her on, and overall how she does not enjoy sex with him. She's even gone into detail about sexual stuff she's into. Is that a sign she's into me? I don't expect her to want to date me or anyone else, but I can't help but think about how potentially amazing a relationship would be between us. For me, it's not about a hookup or a quick fuck. Ideally, it's about eventually dating her. I'm really just glad to be your friend again, and I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Some advice on how to handle this from you guys would be really great. I don't want to get my hopes up just to get friend zoned. Should I chill with her and just be your friend and see where it goes, or should I try to make some actual moves?
Do you have a mask?
Is this a Revenge of the Nerds plan here?
Yes. Yes. Do you have a Darth Vader mask? This is a weird one. That she's still fucking the other guy. You know, so that's interesting. That's an interesting little kerfuffle you have here. I think my advice is what my advice always is: be honest with her and ask the questions that you would like answers to, and maybe if you wrote those out, like the things that you want to know from her. And if it were me, it'd be like, look, are you done with this guy or not? Would you like to date me or not? If so, you know, like I would like to try this on, but I don't want to be dating you if you're still fucking him. That's a no-go. I'm guessing that's the case for you. You know, write all the things that you want to say to her out and show it with a fucking list. If you need to, if you can't memorize it, be like, look, I got some thoughts here. I wrote them down. I'd like to have a serious talk with you.
Grievance 1.
Unfurl the big marker board or whatever.
It's like a Quran. You pull it out.
Yeah, like when she says stuff like, I would be dating you if I wasn't with my current boyfriend, and oh, it would be so great to date you, and talking about shit like that. Women will sometimes do this thing where they won't leave a relationship until they feel they have something else set up as an alternative.
I've had a chick send me accidental titties before, and I was like, nobody sends accidental titties. I know this game. I know this game all too well. It's impossible to send accidental titties. Oh, that was meant for someone else. Someone else named Kyle? You fucking kidding me?
Sorry, I'm shy. Tee-hee. Like, no, you just sent your asshole. Like, I've said this so many times, but nothing gives me a kick like when you see on Reddit where it's like Gone Wild or whatever. It's like, hi, I'm 21. I've always been shy and I'm quiet. First time poster. Here's my asshole and pussy in a Burger King bathroom. It's like, what is wrong with you? You're not shy. You blew the guy to get some extra chicken fries, you whore.
Dude, those chicken fries are good.
I had a Bosnian man come into my apartment yesterday. My AC broke, and I called and was like, hey, my AC broke. And they were like, all right, we'll send someone out. And so I left for the day, as I am want to do. And came back, got a little note for what they did. And it was like, hey, your coil or whatever the fuck was frozen solid. So we had to let it thaw. We'll be back early tomorrow morning to get all this fixed. And I was like, all right, whatever. And so it was like 82 degrees in my place, hot as fuck. I was working out, dripping sweat, and I get a loud rap on the door, a very loud one. And so I go down and I open it, and it's a large, about my height, maybe a little shorter, but a broad, large Bosnian man.
Knocking
a lot
with
of
the
Bosnians in this area. Tons of Bosnians. No hammer. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if he was one of the bad Bosnians. And he comes in and he was like, I didn't know they sounded like almost exactly like Russians, at least to my ear. They do, like that Eastern European accent. He's like, we're getting complaint for downstairs leak. You know what might be? You know what might be leak? I'm like, I don't know, man. I had someone show up this morning and mess with my AC. You want to take a look at that? He's like, yes, I look. He comes up, looks in there, and he goes, and immediately, like, I'm like watching him do his thing, that uncomfortable thing where I'm standing there like, yeah, if I were a real man, I'd be able to fix this myself, but I have to watch you do it. And he was down there, he's like, oh no. You see what problem? Who come this morning? Who come to your house this morning? I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't here. He's like, they ruin it. They ruin it. Look here. The rust right there. You what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to remove bottom plate, put a bucket under there, catch all the melted ice. No bucket. He put no bucket here. It all drained already. There's nothing I can do. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like I'm not meaning to like put you in a tizzy. Like I'm not mad at you at all. Like,
but he's mad at you for some reason.
I'm like, it's all right, man. Like I don't mind, being really, really uncomfortably hot and sweaty. I sleep naked anyway. It's okay. And he's like, no, who the hell showed up this morning, did this, did not know to put bucket under ice to melt. Now bottom stair going to leak. Nothing I can, look at your floorboard here. Look at this. And he's like pointing out these little things. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, if I own this place, I'm pretty pissed. Like, he's like, oh, so sorry. You must stay. It's very hot in here right now. And then I was drenched in my tank top working out because he showed up and all that. And he goes, it is drenched in here, but you look good. And I was like, oh, well, thank you. And I'm like, what's your name? And he goes, Bahrudin. I'm like, you're going to have to say that 3 or 4 more times. Bahrudin. Bahrudin's my name. And I'm like, all right. B. And then he started like talking to me for like 15 minutes when I was in the middle of the workout here. He's like, I'm so sorry, I won't be able to do it. I make sure they send right person tomorrow. Take care. You get cold air again. I leave fan on so you feel more comfortable. Man, you look very good. My body used to look like you. I used to look. This guy is my height and 100+ pounds heavier than me. That's the hands of Andre the Giant. Like the kind of guy his whole life. And he was, I used to look like you. My daughter tell me, oh, don't eat meat. I say, fuck you. I'm going to eat meat. I just cut down on the beer, snacks, that kind of thing. It's like, all right, buddy. And then I had to like slowly usher, like, man, really, really great to meet you. Let's start working this way. In my place, get you out of here. But yeah, he was ended up being.
You could have had a workout partner. See, you should have been like, hey man, why don't you pick up those 15s over there, and let's you come here every day.
You know what?
I work out.
One year ago, I used to look like you. Not quite.
I used to look like you. I like that.
All right, PKA 386.